What's going on, guys? This is Josh here. Today I'm going to be racing 35 laps of Atlanta Motor Speedway in the K&N National Series car. That's the old Chevrolet Impala. Practice is just about to end and I'm going to throw it out there for qualifying. This is my first time driving this track this week, so I haven't had any practice. Hopefully it's going to go okay. I have driven at Atlanta before. It's not really a track I ever really get on with, but hoping to be one of the quicker ones here. We've got a field of, I've only got a field of 11 cars in this one, and I am going into this as #1 rank, so I need to finish fairly well, otherwise I'm going to lose my iRacing. Just setting up. Okay, let's go for it. Really slippery circuit here. Slippery pit lane, slippery apron, and then of course the track itself is extremely slippery and it just gets worse and worse as the race goes on. It's part of the reason I don't like this track, really. Just hard to get to grips with. It's always changing. But let's see what lap I can muster up here. Don't think I really know the quickest way around this track yet, but I'll set a sensible first lap and then I'll just kind of put it all on the line on the second lap and see if I can go any quicker. Didn't feel overly quick, although I'm going to use the full width of the track. Hopefully I'll keep the speed up out of turn 2. Down into 3. Got to try and get quite close to the apron here. Throw it down low. Get on the power as early as possible. Let it run out wide. It's not too bad of a lap. I don't think it's going to be pole though, that's for sure. I need to go quicker than that. Second attempt. I'm going to get off the power early. Going to put my foot down earlier. Try and hold on without grazing that outside wall. Not great. Can I do through turn 3? It just doesn't want to grip. It just forever feels like it's understeering. Although I might go a tiny bit quicker, only 1,000th. And that's my qualifying effort. It's a 31 flat. It's not great. I know people out there will be doing 30.6s maybe. So I'm about 4/10 off the pace at the moment. Nobody's beaten me yet, but I'm anticipating that they will do. Just a matter of time. Back to the pits we go. Well, a lot of people have qualified. Okay, well maybe I will be okay. I'll be aiming for a top 3 finish here. A win would be great, but as I say, I don't think I'm really the quickest guy. I've got my eye on Robert Norris, who hasn't qualified yet, because I know that in practice he did a 31.6, which is a lot quicker than where I've put it. Minute and 3/4 left in qualifying. Might just run back through my laps. Right. So you've got 2 approaches to turn 1 and 2. You can either throw it in, get off the gas later, but then you've got less speed down the back straight. I find you get more speed, although I'm struggling to find the line, if you back off really early for turn 1 and then try and hold the throttle all the way down through most of turn 2. Turn 3 and 4, it's really just start out wide, get as close to the apron on the bottom as you can through 3, and just let the car drift out towards the wall through 4. Try and hold that speed down across the line. I've by no means mastered this track. I've raced here a few times in C Fixed and also in the My Turn Racing League, and I'm quite content with the top 5 normally. I'm normally not in the running for the win round here. Maybe today though, maybe this will be my day. I'm still on pole, half a minute to go. I'm wondering if maybe the 3 guys that are left aren't actually gonna set a qualifying lap here, which is great for me. I certainly wasn't expecting to get a pole here. Just checking over my settings. I think everything's all good. Yeah. Right, well, that's the end of qualifying, and I've put it on a shock pole position. I was not expecting to be on pole at all. 35 laps, it's not too long of a race, should be over in just under 20 minutes I reckon. 11 guys are going to be racing, and I'm going to get my car on the grid. First thing I always do in K&N is turn off refueling, because you're not going to need to do any refueling during this one. You leave fast repair on if, you know, God forbid you end up in a big crash early on. Fast repair will get you out quickly, so you might as well make the most of that and just not take tyres, because then you can literally just drive into your pit box, get the fast repair and just get straight back out again, and minimise the damage from having to pit, because of course there's no cautions in this series. Waiting for, looks like 6th, 10th and 11th to line up on the grid. 6th is now in. Yeah, just the guys at the back who didn't qualify who we're waiting for now. And we can get this underway. Oh, pace car's already going, so maybe there is only going to be 9 or 10 drivers in this one. I do feel woefully unprepared for this race. I literally jumped in for 10 minutes tops of some practice laps before this session started, and even then I didn't feel quick, so this is going to be a bit of a learning one for me. If someone is a lot faster and they're really pushing to get by, I might just let them go, because being a series with no cautions, if you get turned around, that's it, it's race over. So you got to be sensible, you got to be patient. This track is really slippery, really hard on tyres, so you can be slow early in the race and then it comes back to you later on, depending on how you've handled your tyres. The pace car's in turn 3, it'll be peeling off soon and we'll be able to get this run underway. I'm all set up. Callum Glanville alongside me in the number 3. And away we go. The field wasn't very bunched up on that start. I don't know if it's people not really thinking. I've seen a guy already been wrecked over the line. Wow, that didn't take long. But I've got a big lead going into 1. I'm not sure what people were thinking about there. Yeah, the field was really spread out. Normally you got people climbing all over each other at the start. This lot just seemed a bit too relaxed, but it worked for me because I've got a second lead already to work with, which is great. That's the end of lap 1. .34 to go. Just got to find a line I'm comfortable with, especially when the car gets loose later on and the tyres start to wear. It's a really uncomfortable race. Hugged that apron through 3, drifted out wide through 4. Later in the race that becomes a problem because you can get too close to the wall and end up hitting it. I'm going to try my best not to do that. And just not getting that grip through 1 that I'm looking for. I just feel like I'm always drifting through that turn. I know it's not the quickest way around it. Ending lap 3. I'll have a little look over at the timing. Yeah, I've got over a 2-second lead. Brilliant. This is going far better than I expected. Easy does it. Yeah, it looks like two drivers got caught up at the start because I'm already coming up to lap 2 drivers, which just doesn't make sense unless they had an issue early on. Just got to keep it composed. You'll also, this is one of the tracks where you can hear the tyre noise a lot, so it makes you very kind of hyper aware of how much you're using your tyres. So when you're in a situation like this where you've got a little bit of a lead to play with, it is good to just try and listen to that tyre noise and just try and keep it down, because that'll only make me faster later on when the tyres start to go. Easy does it. Onto the back straight. 3.5 second lead now. We're pulling away, which is fantastic news. I'm keeping an eye out for a couple of quick guys pulling their way through the field. Haven't seen them yet though. I'm certainly not going to get cocky because we've got a long way to go in this one. And through turn 1 there, the car felt very loose already, and it's only going to get worse. So I've really got to manage that. Down into turn 3. Whoa, it's starting to get loose. Only 7 laps down, we're already getting loose through 1 and 4. Sometimes the way to manage that is to, when I'm qualifying, you take your foot completely off the accelerator to slow into 1 and into 3, and then you put it all the way down on the exit. But if the car starts to get loose, what you're going to try and do is not fully take your foot off the accelerator into the turn, so you're not slowing down as much, but then you keep your foot not fully down on the exit, so you can't spin the wheels up so easily. So you're just trying to even out your speed through the turn. This is turning into quite a lonely race up front, dare I say it. I suppose I'd rather be lonely up front than in a dogfight down at the back. 4.5 seconds now the lead, which is brilliant. I'm very happy with that. 10 laps down, so we're coming up to the 3rd distance. It's all going well for the moment. Looks like I'll be lapping Cale Bowden soon. He's running at the back in 9th. Easy does it. Yeah, it's quite rare in the K&N car that you're already having to drive conservatively after so early in a race. We're only on lap 11, but I feel like my pace is nowhere near what I was doing in qualifying. It's already a second slower, so the pace really does drop off quickly, and it would drop off more. It's just even on a qualifying setup with fresh tyres, the car does not feel very comfortable to drive around here. It is an older circuit, Atlanta, very bumpy. I don't fiddle with my force feedback on my wheel, but if I did, I'd probably turn it down for this one, because this and Michigan in particular are really hard on your wrists when you're having to hold the wheel all race because of all the bumps. I thought I'd catch this lap car quicker than I have done. I think he must be on fresh tyres. Maybe he pit. not exactly reeling him in. It's a little uncomfortable. Right, so the gap's starting to even out now at 4.5 seconds. I'm wondering if maybe the guy in second is doing a better job than I am at keeping his pace up, and he might reel me back in. We'll see. Simon Sarako is in third. Alex Tunbridge is in fourth. And they're they're about 7 seconds behind me now. I don't reckon I'll see them for the whole race, honestly. I don't think I'll be able to lap them. They'll be on the other side of the track to me for much of the time. Yeah, it feels really loose through 3. Even with the accelerator pretty much fully off, you can feel the back just starting to step out. Someone's just connected to the session. I'm afraid they're a bit late. See how the lap car just dropped down to the apron on the exit of 2? I'm guessing he got loose, and that just pulled him down towards the infield. I feel like I've got a fairly good line at the moment, which is working for me, particularly through 3 and 4 there, although yeah, the pace is slow. I'm now 1.5 seconds down on what I was doing at the start. Whoa, that's loose through 2. It's only going to get worse. Easy does it. Yeah, Glanville in second is matching my times now, and I'd like to think I've probably built up enough of a lead in the early stages. We're now at half distance. He'd do well to catch me back up without me making a mistake. I don't want to jinx it. Ooh, that's loose. It's very loose. Need to find a better line through 1 and 2. I feel like I'm just wasting a lot of time. Maybe I'll go higher. Let's see what that does. Still get loose, even when you go higher up the track. Normally that's a good way to avoid being loose. Don't think there's any getting away from it. Very reluctant to put my foot all the way down. We've got a car spinning on the infield here, but I'll avoid them okay. That was Hendrik Ox in the number 8, who's being lapped. Hopefully he won't mess anything up for the guys behind. Whoa, we've got a car on the wall. Wasn't going to take any chances there. Whoa! Now I'm getting loose. I'm getting very loose. And I've dropped about 0.5 seconds now to second place, who I think is slowly reeling me in. I've got to be careful with that. It just feels so loose. It sucks when you just want to get on the power out of the turns and you just can't do it because you don't trust the car. Just a little bit of opposite lock. I don't want any more than that. If the race was longer, maybe like 50 or 60 laps, it might even be worth pitting in the middle. That is how much of a difference it can make being on the fresher rubber. Hands are starting to ache now. That's what I said about the track being so bumpy. A lot of tracks you don't really get hand cramp or wrist ache because they're dead smooth, but this one is really bumpy all the way around. On entry, on exit, through the tri-oval. I remember once here actually at Atlanta, I even spun round on the start because I hit a bump just through here on the tri-oval, just as the field was starting to get underway, and it just completely looped me round in front of the field, which is quite embarrassing. Oh, hit the wall. Oh dear, gotta keep it. Just got a little too wide on entry. Don't think I did any damage. Didn't actually get any incident points either. It's a 0x. Gotta manage that. Gotta be more careful. Stay away from the wall. Normally you're worrying about the wall on exit, not the wall on entry. I think that was just me being a bit careless. Give my hands a rest. Just fully off the gas now. Waiting. Now I put my foot down. And even then, just a little squiggle on exit, but it's manageable. And that's about as fast as I can really go at this point in the race. I'm sure the top guys out there can do it a lot quicker than this, but yeah, I've always struggled at tracks where you have to manage your tyres. I'm not very good at it. But so far so good. Looks like we're going to gain some good iRacing, which is great because I lost some yesterday. I did C-fixed at Kansas and I got wrecked in both of those, so I lost about 120 IR. Hopefully I'll get probably about 30 or 40 back for winning here. Being the top seed, you don't get as much iRating because it's kind of expected that you'll do well, which is a shame. But I will take a win at Atlanta any day because, as I've said time and time again, this is not my strongest track at all. And it surprised me that I've managed to stay out front. Although I am definitely losing time to second. Callum Glanville's knocked about 1.5 seconds off me in the last 10 laps. If the race was longer I would be a lot more worried, but I think with less than 10 laps to go, if I just manage what I'm doing, keep to the pace I'm up now, should be okay. Can't make any more mistakes though, can't put it in the wall any more times. Easy does it. I could probably go a lot quicker if I went all the way around the outside, but it's not a line I've really practiced. I'll give it a go now, just see what happens. Yeah, I'm fairly sure if you go all the way out like this, and then put your foot down earlier, didn't work for me. In C-Fix that works very well. Yeah, in K&N maybe not. I'm not going to try it through 3 and 4 because I've not practiced the outside line at all through 3 and 4. It's not very easy. It's not the roundest of corners, if you see what I mean, through 3 and 4. And we've got a car who's hit the wall in the tri-oval. Another heart in your mouth moment. And we've got a lap car going very slowly. Hopefully I can get by him okay here. That's the 6. He's actually the guy that I was worried about, Robert Norris, because he set a really quick lap in practice, but we didn't see anything of him, and the fact that I'm lapping him suggests maybe he hit the wall at some point, got some damage. He can do me a little favour here and maybe hold up second, who has now brought the gap down to just over 2 seconds, so maybe he is going to catch me before the end. I certainly need to manage it. I feel like the car's not quite as loose as it was now. It feels like it's more understeer, which I'm a lot more comfortable with. Through 3. I could get on the gas even earlier, but I just being careful. No need to throw away the lead, as I could so easily do here. And that was a good lap. That's the kind of pace I'm looking for at this stage in the race. A 33 flat. It's not setting the world alight, but it's enough that's going to keep me in the lead. 5 laps to go now. I want to go faster, but I've just got to restrain myself and not do it. The gap's pretty stable now from first to second, just hovering above 2 seconds. That was a better line through there. I'm not sure what I necessarily did differently there, but that felt a lot better. Into 3. Still aiming for that apron, although I'm just waiting longer to get on the power. Lap 33. 3 laps to go now. Way up to the wall. And then throw it down. It's a track where you can get a nice rhythm. When you kind of feel where the braking points are and you just get used to it, then you can just nail it lap after lap. Lap and a half to go. Just got to bring it home. Easy does it. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go now, guys. Let's bring it home. High through 1. Low through 2. Out to the wall. Hard on the power. Wide entry into 3. Down to the apron. Wait. Foot down. Wide through 4. And there's the checkered flag. And we've got our first win at Atlanta. Awesome. Well, that went a lot better than I thought it would. Thanks guys for watching. I should probably go and do some donuts. I always forget, I don't win very often. Alright, let's see if my donuts are any good. Something tells me they won't be. Yeah, that's not exactly round. Just gonna swirl my way down the pit lane, I think. That'll do it. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a fun one. Quiet, pretty uneventful. I hope it wasn't too boring to watch. But yeah, a good win for me, and a good way to get some points in the bag in that particular series. Yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for watching.